Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to assemble a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 blue emote into the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you feel like being a lurker, you can just go ahead and lurk. For whatever reason, I still can't view my users in chat list in the dashboard. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome, welcome. I should be able to view users in chat, and I can't. And it's most likely some sort of permission changed, and I have to allow it in my no script, which is annoying because I thought I had all of this figured out. We'll see if it's that. We'll temp a couple of these things, and we'll see if this changes things. I don't know if it will, but I hope you're doing well out there on the old internet. I'm doing just fine. We got a new model kit to work on. Sugai's Gelgoog from G-Witch. This is one of two Gelgoog model kits. I have the other one. This one, okay, so still didn't work. Whatever, it's fine. I don't have to see who's in chat. This particular Gelgoog was purchased by Harold. H-Bomb and friends picked this up for me so I could build it on stream, which is very kind of Harold. Thank you very much for that, Harold. This is another thing off the wish list. My apologies to my $10 patrons. You didn't really vote a lot this month. I had some kits that took a while to build, some long builds. And then I also had two things for my wish list in a row, which means you don't get to vote. Maybe, actually, now that I think about it, there'll be one voting thing. You'll get it in before the end of the month. Because this kit, I imagine I finish during Monday. Tomorrow. I'm not streaming on Sunday. During Monday's stream, I imagine I finish the kit this kit, because it should not take too long. It's not that much of a kit. There's only one sticker. We'll go to the overhead camera so you can see the sticker. Only one sticker here that goes on the shoulder, so that's really nice. And yeah, it's like 5 sprues. There's not much to this kit, so it shouldn't take long. There are plenty of parts in here that will take a good amount of marker, so that'll look really nice. It'll end up looking like a real good kit. It's just going to take a little while to get the whole thing together, as they say. But let's get it started. It shouldn't. What I was saying, sorry, is it shouldn't take too long to put the whole thing together, but it will take a little while to do all of the marker work. That's what I meant to say. Hopefully, I've said that in a way that made sense. But also, hello. I hope you're all doing well tonight on this fine Saturday evening. Since our last stream on Thursday, my apologies for ending the stream a little early. That is a rare instance for me, but my voice was starting to give out, and we had finished the model kit. And so instead of starting a new one, where also I was kind of groggy and my voice was kind of going, I decided to end it early, which again, I don't do too often. So my apologies for that. But I did have the benefit of having pretty much vocal rest for the last 2 days. I tried not to talk at all. I did on occasion have to speak, but I tried not to talk at all. And that definitely helps me out quite a bit if I can do that. If I can just, weird thing to say, if I don't talk, it's easier for my voice to recover. So when I can do that, I do that. All right, so we got to put that like that and then push this down like that. Okay. A little tricky right off the bat. Whenever I end up doing the other Gelgoog, because I won't put that up as an option for a while, but whenever I do get around to the other Gelgoog, some of this stuff will be pretty much identical. It's just like the fine-tune elements of it that are different, which is cool. It does give you a bunch of angles here. These are in color, which is nice. But like this piece here basically replaces like 3 or 4 stickers. So that's kind of neat. We'll get that together. And then it kind of shows me what this is going to look like when it's done. This needs to go here. That, yeah. I think I have put this in the right spot. We'll find out. As always, if it doesn't start fitting together right, then I'll know that I fucked up. What else can I say here? Yeah, I didn't talk much since Thursday, which is helpful because my birthday subathon on Tuesday really wiped out my voice. And so I have to, and then also a combination of that and also just like general feeling a little icky because of it's been really hot and warm, and then also my allergies have been kind of kicking my ass. So that has been a terrible combination. Okay. I think this is in the right spot. Let me see. Here. This appears to be correct. So then this piece is the next one that goes on. It would go on like that. Yeah. Just kind of sits there, and then the side pieces go on. And we'll see how this looks. We'll talk about this in the second hour, but I spent a lot of time the past couple of days playing Mecha Chameleon. If you've got the crew for it, that game fucking rules. That game is, it is a prime example of friend slop, which is not a derogatory term, although it does sound like one. I am sure there are some people that they want nothing to do with this style, that style of game. But for me, if you got the right people you're playing with, oh, it's fun. It's a lot of good times. Just really goofing around with your friends and making some real silly shit happening. Yeah, I've had a good time. Well, again, we'll talk more in the second hour about Mecha Chameleon. But that was a good time. And I felt like I should mention why is this piece not going in right? Sorry. I'm trying to get this piece to sit correctly, and I'm having issues with that. I felt like I should mention at the top here, we'll talk more about wrestling, of course, because there is a pay-per-view tomorrow that I'm interested in watching for AEW. I did not watch Night of Champions, which was, since it was in Riyadh, it was Day of Champions for the US. I'm fine with them not, changing the name. Oh, there we go. I do not watch the WWE at this point. I certainly, even when I was still watching, I was not watching anything to do with their shows in Saudi Arabia. And now I just don't watch at all. But I would be remiss, I don't cover them. I don't talk about the results that often. I definitely don't preview them and talk about them on stream. But I would be remiss not to mention that Sami Zayn won the big one, the undisputed championship in the WWE. And he pinned the champion. He pinned Cody Rhodes. Now, he is heelish at this point, although being in Saudi Arabia, he was being cheered wildly. I have been a fan of that man since the mid 2000s, just a few years into his career when he was traveling a lot on the East Coast, up and down the coast, did a lot of stuff in the New England and New York area, and the Mid-Atlantic, certainly. And so I got to see him perform a lot as El Generico. He and Kevin Steen, now Kevin Owens, worked up and down the coast, tagging together, working against one another. I would see him a lot in Ring of Honor. But one particular thing that I did share on Blue Sky was, and I think I've talked about this before. I may have even talked about it on here. I went to this no name indie in I want to say Rhode Island. I want to say it was Rhode Island. It may have been Massachusetts, but I think it was Rhode Island. I went to this no name indie where El Generico was headlining the show. And it was a fine show. It was like a mix of some like names you would like early on in the show. There were a few like old WWE names. The Godfather was there. And so a few people made like appearances, but they weren't wrestling. And then there was like some TNA guys were around, or guys that would eventually be in TNA, I should say, like big indie names at the time. Not AJ Styles, but like names that were like pretty well known on the indies, and main eventing El Generico. And the show ends. It's like a Sunday afternoon, and El Generico gets the microphone, and he breaks character. A very rare thing where he is just talking. He is just French accented, French Canadian accented, and talking to the crowd. And he says, "Hey, everybody, thanks so much for coming out. I don't like to do that. I don't like to do this thing kind of thing, but the booker took off and none of us got paid for this show." And of course the crowd fucking boos. We're like really losing our minds. And he goes, so what we're going to do is, the boys are all going to bring in, their merch stuff, and we're going to set up in front of the ring, and anybody that buys anything can come into the ring and take a photo with me, free of charge. And so he stayed in the ring. They got him a folding chair. He sat in the ring, and people came, and the rest of the wrestlers brought in their merch stuff and set it up. Colt Cabana set up his merch on a table that had been used in the main event that was broken, which was very fucking funny and stupid because he kept having to bend down on this table because everything would just slide off, and he made a bit of it. It was a good bit. Oh, that's the head done. And Sammy stayed until everybody that wanted to buy something and wanted a photo with him got a photo with him. Of course, again, this is as El Generico. And it was a really cool thing. Now, had I already purchased something from one of the wrestlers? Yes, I had already purchased something. So I was like, well, I'm not going to go in and get a photo. I did want to, but yeah, for some people, first time ever getting into a ring, that was really fun. They set up the, people to come in, and it was a really nice sentiment. And he didn't have to do that because he certainly wasn't getting paid. But and then of course the boys are all joking one another, and they're like, "Oh yeah. Well, Godfather, he got paid because he went first, and then he went in, did his thing, came back, went to the owner, got cash, and left, and was like, yeah, because there'd be hell to pay if he didn't." But that always stuck with me. I was already a fan of El Generico at that point, and the way he, the way he carried himself in that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm ride or die. And then of course through various promotions, watching him wrestle on the indies, and then eventually a lot in Ring of Honor. I got to see him quite a bit, and then tape trading for PWG stuff. I never got to see PWG live, but I certainly saw a lot of tapes and then DVDs of those, and getting to see him really fucking steal the show constantly and consistently. And then he went to WWE, and of course he was in NXT when I was watching NXT, when it was like the show, when it was like the good WWE thing. Sami Zayn should have won the belt in 2024, whenever he had the title shot against Roman. I mean, maybe it was 2022. He had a title shot against Roman in Montreal, at Elimination Chamber, and he should have won the belt there, and he didn't. And it's long overdue. I don't think he'll have the belt for a long time, I've been joking that he only won the belt because CM Punk is moving over to SmackDown, and they wanted to have a heel with the belt that Punk could beat. This is not confirmed. This is just a joke that is going around of like, oh, that's why Sammy won, is so they could get a big pop, maybe get news coverage by the dirt sheets, with being the day before an AEW pay-per-view, and then also have Punk be able to beat him and have it not be a big deal. But I do think that some people will boo if CM Punk wins that belt off of Sami Zayn. I don't think this will be a long reign. I hope he wins at SummerSlam. I hope he gets a big title defense. I hope he carries it for a while. I don't expect it to be a long reign for Sammy, but he gets to check it off the list. Also, it's a bummer that Kevin Owens is still on the injury list. Can't be there. Hey, I hope that Owens at some point can return to wrestling in general, but it would be extra special if he could either be on the same side or go against Sammy with that belt. But I did want to mention it because it is pretty fucking cool that he's a world champ. Unexpected. Did he need it? I like to think so. I think top stars should be champions at some point, and maybe he's been on the down, the decline, but he'll be a solid heel champion, and then he'll lose and then maybe turn babyface in losing, or not. But yeah, good on him. Good egg. Of course, yes, El Generico, Sami Zayn did have a terrible gimmick in a forgotten Canadian indie. There is video footage of this unbelievably terrible gimmick that he'll never do again. It was awful. It was ill-advised. I'm not going to dig too deep into it, but if you start really looking at it, he did have a very bad gimmick pre-El Generico. It was not good. There's still a little footage of it here and there, and it's a bad time. News update. News update. Nintendo's Takashi Tezuka is not retiring from Nintendo. He is not leaving Nintendo. It was it sure sounded like he was. He is stepping down as an executive officer of the company, but he will still be an employee and still do design work. So good for him. Good on him. But it was surprising. But there was an investors meeting, a financial meeting, and it was asked like, "Hey, what's going on?" This is also the meeting where we heard that Nintendo is giving all the Japanese employees a 10% pay increase. And that has made the news. That has made the headlines. And like, well, hey, that's good on Nintendo. Like, good on them for doing that. It is important that the context of that is Furukawa was asked about, hey, there are no unions in Nintendo. There are no worker unions in Nintendo. And so this was we're increasing. So it was like, oh, okay. Also, they were asked to firmly say that they would not be using generative AI and commit to not using it. They were asked that and to do that, and it was just completely ignored. And Furukawa was like, when it comes to AI, we're going to make sure that our IP doesn't get infringed by AI. So no, no, like, which of course they're not going to do that, but you would still, still good to press on it. So no, like, hey, we promise we're not having our employees use any kind of AI bullshit. Instead, it was just like, oh, hey, yeah, our lawyers are going to make sure that our shit doesn't get used in AI for things. Okay. It's not, yeah. So that was the big thing there. But yeah, the creator of fucking Yoshi is still going to hang out. Now, he's also 65, and man, I mean, like, I understand retiring from the executive job, but like, I don't know, at some point you can probably also just stop if you wanted to. But yeah, sure. All right. Keep doing what you're doing. Let's see. In bullshit. Hey, Dirty, welcome, welcome. Unrelated to Dirty being here. There's some bullshit out there. There's not been any write-ups in this because the news broke last night. Weird. This news that will not be received well by critics and people that write about games and gaming experiences. A Friday night reveal. A Friday night press release, almost as if you have to say it, but you know that people are going to be fucking pissed about this shit. Riot Games is partnering with Kick. Now, if you don't know about Kick, Kick is where people who are so gross and awful that even Twitches are like, yeah, you can't keep being here. They go to Kick, and often they go to Kick with money thrown at them. It's all crypto. Gambling stuff is legal on there, or streaming gambling. Anything that you think wouldn't be cool to do on Twitch, or, like, they're fucking fine with. It's just a garbage place for garbage people to stream on. And Riot is going to partner with them. Giving players around the world more ways to watch, co-stream, and engage with our games and esports. Now, again, you could just not ban your games from being played on Kick. If you really wanted that, you could just say, yeah, I guess you could. I guess people that stream on Kick could play fucking our stuff. So starting with MSI 2026, Kick will carry live broadcasts for global and regional events across LOL Esports, Valorant, and TFT. Of course, that's League of Legends. And that excludes China and Korea. You can't watch Kick in those countries, so they won't have them there. Also, because they have strategic partnerships in those countries for who gets to have that stuff. So they can't forgo those. Partnership opens up more opportunities for creators. Kick streamers will have new ways to grow their communities and Kick with Riot through our expanding creator and partner programs across League, Valorant, TFT, and Wild Rift. So, one thing in this press release that is fucking laughable and hilarious, and it is, of course, a thing that they will point to when people go, wait, what? Sorry, I have to read this thing. When people go, wait, what the fuck is happening here? They will, of course, point to this line. As for Kick streamers, will also apply the same moderation practices and standards creators on other platforms are held to, ensuring a safe and positive experience for all. Which is, of course, fucking bullshit. They will not be doing that. If they cared about moderation practices and standards, they wouldn't be on Kick, because that's the fucking Wild West garbage pit. They would, if they cared about those things, they would steer clear of that place. But clearly, they have said that they have looked at it, and they've spoken with their lawyers about liability and all of that. They are fine with Lord Crashington, they are fine with not only being on that platform, but also partnering with that platform. Once again, Kick, the place that is fine with gambling on fucking blind boxes, that is fine with giving money to creators to lure them over who were just like, well, I got kicked off of Twitch forever, so I'm just on YouTube. I'm off YouTube. Well, Kick is giving me money. I'll just go there. The wild, wild west of garbage. You may be able to tell from my tone, I'm hiding it very well, I'm sure, that I think this fucking sucks. Really sucks. And again, the Friday night press release, they can go fuck themselves. It's shit. It's real shit. Kick is the primary platform for many passionate esports fans, especially in Latin America and Europe. And it's like, okay, do you want those esports fans? If these esports fans exist, if they actually exist, because Kick is also known as a place to have bots. They do not care about bots. In fact, they welcome bots because they want to boost their numbers so they can get more investment. They do not give a shit about that. But it's like, if you want these phantom audience members who make Kick their platform of choice, good fucking luck to you. A service where some people are still able to get banned for somehow being too awful for Kick. Yes, you can get banned from Kick. Generally, that's at the point where Kick's lawyers are like, oh shit, no. Nope. That's liability. We can't. Every once in a while, one of their lawyers is just like, goes like, wait, what are you trying to do? Oh, no. We can't do that. But that doesn't happen too often. It does, but it doesn't happen too often. This kit is, on one hand, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. On the other hand, weirdly complicated. And it took me a second to be like, why is this? I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit here. I was like, why is this so weirdly complicated? And then, of course, it hit me. It's a Gelgoog kit. Even if this is the most simple design in Gelgoog, it's like a GM or a Gym mixed with a Gelgoog. It's still a Gelgoog kit, and therefore overly complicated and weird, because the design is overly complicated and weird. Anyway, fuck Riot for this shit and other things, but specifically this one. Real garbage. Real garbage factory decisions here. All right, so I put this in here, and then it's like rocket to the side, and I'm like, what do you mean? And then rocket to the other side. I may have put this in the wrong place because it does not want to rocket back and forth. Oh, like this, I guess. Okay. So you rocket like that? Okay, it does rock that way. All right. B7. Again, this is overly complicated. But like, I understand why. Because of the show it's from. Let's see. Unfortunately, some layoff news. Often layoffs come in before on Thursday and not necessarily on Friday. But we did have some here, so we'll say that 128 employees have been laid off in San Francisco, which is Keywords, which is a game service provider. Keywords. They were acquired in 2024 by the Swedish investor EQT. They laid off people in 2024, but that was in Europe, so we don't know the exact number because wherever it was, they didn't have to report it. They do have to report it here because these are San Francisco jobs, So by law, they got to fucking say what the deal is here, which is the WARN notice, which we've talked about before, the worker adjustment and retraining notification. But they're game development services. They are like a support and training and various things like that studio. And yeah, they have laid off again 128 workers. You may remember that in 2024, they were accused of not listing translators in the credits, and they had to work with Ubisoft to update Skull and Bones because there were a bunch of people who had worked on the game that did not end up in the credits. And when you're doing this kind of contract work, specifically this kind of work there with translation, certainly now in the age of AI is a fucking nightmare to negotiate. But even then, it was even still rough. If you don't get proper fucking credit for it, it's hard to get new work. If you can't say, if your name doesn't show up in Moby Games as you doing that work, it'd be really rough. All right, I think we got this all together now. I think I'm doing this correctly. Let me get A15 and A19. And then also Combat Waffle Studios, which I have never heard of. They are a VR studio, and I am the first to admit I do not keep track of what's going on in the world of virtual reality and who's making what and what companies are at the forefront or are up-and-comers in that space. I do not keep track of that stuff myself. But this Combat Waffle, they made Ghost of Tabor, which is a VR shooter. And they reduced the size of the team. They did the quote-unquote difficult decision email. They had a project get canceled on them, is what they say, which led to that. They were working with an unnamed large platform partner. And then they're just trying to get stability. You know the drill. Sorry, I'm yawning. My apologies. That's also terrible timing. So there was a statement from the CEO. Now, obviously, you have to you see the lip service of any team will be lucky to pick up these talented people. It is our loss that we can't do this, and yada yada yada, and all kinds of all that things and things. But hey, we still got employees. We're still putting games out. We gotta be positive where we can be positive. So ends on the positive note of we remain confident in the future of VR and our role within it, which is like, okay, you just laid off some employees, though. How good are things going? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Scott Albright. There's a Steam sale going on right now. Speaking of games, if you want to pick up some video games, if you're looking to pick up some games to do some gaming on the Steam, like on your Steam Deck or on your gaming personal computer. Did I do this wrong? No. Oh, it goes like that. Okay. This fucking thing. Super complicated. God damn it. All right, we got that done. Now I need top pieces and bottom piece. We'll get that on. But there's a bunch of games on sale. And Kotaku did a write-up of some of those games that are on sale that are probably worth checking out. American Truck Simulator is currently $5. Obviously, DLC, you got to buy that. But if you just want the base game, American Truck Simulator, I did not pick that up. But I will say, this was the most tempted I have ever been for that video game. I seriously considered getting into that. Again, did I? No, but I considered it. Baby Steps is $10 right now instead of the normal $20. Let's see. Control Ultimate Edition is $6 right now. If you've never played Control, you didn't buy Control, fucking get on that shit. Get Control. It fucking rules. Let's see. The Dead Space remake, which is normally $60 because it's never really been on sale. It goes on sale now and again, but it keeps up at $60 when it's not. That's fucking $6. Hey, Ash. So I think that's worth it. I'm just looking at this list again that Kotaku put together of some of the games that are on sale right now that are worth checking out in the Steam sale. Doom Eternal, not necessarily my favorite of the Doom games, of the new Dooms, but that currently is $10. Let's see. Firewatch is $4 if you never got around to playing or you don't have it on Steam. You want to get fucking Firewatch. You could do worse than goddamn Firewatch. Hades, the original Hades is $7. Hitman World of Assassination, $3. Get that shit. Some of the Metro games are cheap. Planet Zoo is $3 right now. I think it'll be good. Ash says, I got Rain World, Morph Blade, Mediterranea, Inferno, Descenders, Against the Storm, and Monodora Reverie Under the Moonlight for about €10 total. Nice. That's a bunch of good games. Hell yeah. I have heard of a couple of those. All right, so let's see. Attach carefully. Being careful not to apply too much force. That's a weird thing to say to me, but okay. E1, 7, and 7. We're almost done with this chess piece, then we can panel line this thing. Let's see. Witcher 3, $4 US. Watch Dogs 2, $3. XCOM 2. XCOM 2 is $3 right now. Like, again, there's some quality games here you can get for some good prices. I didn't buy, but I almost bought Retro Rewind. I'm sorry. No games, but I picked up a desk from the Prime Day deals. Hell yeah, Dirty. Hope that desk treats you well. I got on the Prime deal myself. I only got one thing because I try not to use Amazon when I can. But I also do have that wish list. And so I was checking to see if anything on my wish list showed up on sale on Amazon. And there were two things. One was the Blockies Darth Vader model kit, which is the from Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader. That was on sale. And that was a good price. And I was like, I'm going to get that. And then also, because it's never on sale and it's gotten more and more expensive as the years went on. I haven't done a Kamen Rider kit in a while, but Skull from Kamen Rider W, he's got a skull face, that was on sale. It's normally these days $42, and I got it on sale for $36, so a little bit off. That kit, to me, that's a lot. 36 is a lot for a kit that is mostly black and silver, but whatever. You may remember Skull from Kamen Rider W as the Kamen Rider that has the skull helmet. And also above that, the white and black fedora. It's a Kamen Rider with a cool hat. So I got that. Lord Crash says, if the price isn't equal to the number in the title, it's a no-buy situation. I understand. Look, I get that. Okay. Look, XCOM 2 for $3 and not $2. I hear you, Lord Crash. If that's how you want to live your life, you can live your life. Hey, I'll say this. Fallout 76. Not something I would necessarily recommend, but Fallout 76, $10. Of course, you're going to spend more, but probably, but whatever. So yeah, I didn't go too hard on the Amazon deals, but I did find a couple things that were like just good prices. And I haven't done a Star Wars build in a while. Yes, Lord Crash didn't only spend the 76. I'd check out 76 for free. Anything more than that is too much. Yeah, I understand. I hear you. Lord Crashington, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is $2 right now. So put your money where your mouth is. Get Xenoverse 2 for $2. Damn it. Haha. Gotcha. I had to look. I was like, there's gotta be something here that will hit you. Also, Left 4 Dead 2 is $2. So there you go. Left 4 Dead 2, $2. I think that's it for the ones that are, the number is also the price. Oh, nope, sorry. Civilization 6, $6. There you go. So Civ 6, normally $60, $6. I got that ages ago, as it was required on stream. Yes. If it's possible to not already have Left 4 Dead 2 with how many times they've given it away. Yes. At that point, you'd just be like, well, I guess I'm never getting it. Like, you'd have to just decide. You were never going to have that. Okay, it's time to panel line the chest of this Gelgoog from G-Quux, and then we will put on the head on top of it once we're done with that. Yes, Civ 6 is a Civ game. Civ Rev is still my favorite Civ game. It's the one I definitely put the most time into. But I did play some 6. I didn't hate it. All right, look. There's a wrestling pay-per-view tomorrow. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. If this is in your bag, I understand. But I'm going to do my predictions on the winners and losers for AEW tomorrow. Forbidden Door. Now, what's a Forbidden Door? That was a term used to describe when you are bringing in matchups from companies you would have never expected. People who are signed to companies and partnerships you never could believe. But also, that just fucking happens these days. So it's not a great name. But we'll acknowledge it as a thing that's happening. Pre-show match. There has been a tournament to crown a new TBS champion. They're going to do a survival of the fittest match. And this is a qualifying match to get in there. Sky Blue versus Stardom's Micah. Sky Blue will win this one. I don't believe that Micah is, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that Micah is currently booked for a bunch of other U.S. dates. There are some Stardom folks in the U.S. for some dates. I don't believe she is one of them. So I am going to guess that this is going to be Sky Blue entering, which makes some sense. Divine Dominion, that's Megan Bayne and Lena Cross, are putting up their AEW Women's Tag Championships against the Thunder Rosa and Olympia, who have been tagging somewhat in CMLL. Thunder Rosa has a dual contract where she can work CMLL and AEW, and she's mostly been in CMLL in Mexico. If they had been a tag team that performed in America at all, at any point, maybe, but no, it's just unlikely. Yeah, Ash, sometimes one bad draw can just really ruin you on a game. Like, one bad, well, this is not going to be fun. Like, I'm just not going to have a good time with this. And that can definitely sour you on a game. A bad random draw can hurt you. Main card, Cope and Christian, which is, of course, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are defending their AEW Tag Championships against the Dogs, represented by David Finlay and Clark Connors. I am fully believe that maybe it'll come after the match, but I imagine that Gabe Kidd will return because he returned in New Japan and he seems to be cleared to at least appear. But I do not expect the Dogs to beat Cope and Cage because there is a Canada pay-per-view next month. And them going in as tag champions in Canada just fucking makes sense as a make good for them not winning the belts the last time they were in Canada. So I think they're going to retain. The Young Bucks versus El Sky Team, which is Mystico and Mascarada, versus Unbound Company, which is Shingo Takagi and Titan. This is just kind of random. Let's get Mystico on the card. I expect Sky Team to win this one. A lot of people were like, "Oh, well, Matt and Nick Jackson are going to win this because they need to be in the title picture." To which I say, no, they don't. The Young Bucks don't need to be in the title picture. We don't need them. We don't need Cope and Cage versus the Young Bucks. No. Put up tag teams we haven't seen. No. I do think they might win. I don't want them to. I just think it makes sense for Mystico and Mascara Dorada to win and just get a cool hell yeah. Mystico works here, god damn it. Jon Moxley is defending the Continental Championship against Bandito. Man, it would be fucking cool if god damn it. Bandito is the Ring of Honor champion and he's definitely fucking losing to Jon Moxley and it's a shame. I don't like it. Jon Moxley doesn't need a fucking mid-card belt. It's crazy that he has one. He's not a fucking mid-card wrestler. It's wild that he has that. He should fucking lose. He's not going to lose to Bandito. I would love to be wrong. Oh boy, I would love to be wrong about that. It would be fucking cool as hell if I was incorrect about that one. I would be fucking stoked. But I do not expect that I am wrong on that one. Shota Umino is defending the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship against Pac. And here we have our one New Japan winner. I do not think anyone that works in New Japan, with the exception of Takeshita, but he works multiple places, so that to me doesn't count. I don't think anyone from New Japan is winning tonight other than Umino. So he's going to beat Pac. Sure, I think that match could be cool. I don't really care about Shota of his generation, of the wrestlers that came in of his gen. He has improved the least amount. I don't really care about Shota. Tekla is defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Starlight Kid. AEW watchers who do not pay attention to Stardom are going to fall in love with Starlight Kid because she fucking rules. Starlight Kid is so fucking good at wrestling and so funny and fun. She is just like a breath of fresh air. And such a goddamn good worker, and is going to sell her ass off to Tekla, who is going to retain. They're not going to have the world title belong to someone from Stardom. Maybe the TBS title, but not the world title. Mercedes Moné versus Maya World. The winner goes on to face the AEW World's Champion, Women's World Champion. In this case would be Tekla, I believe, at All In. Now, this one's tough. You have to remember that originally Neither of these women were in the tournament. So whoever wins this was not originally scheduled to win this thing. Going into it, Mercedes is replacing Willow Nightingale. Maya World is replacing Sari from Stardom. Now, Maya has a lot of momentum. She beat Athena, which was an upset. People were not expecting that. For that to happen, it was a fucking cool upset. But when I think about, okay, one of the major main matches at All In London, their big show, their WrestleMania equivalent, are you going to have Mercedes Moné versus Tekla, or are you going to have Maya World versus Tekla? And to me, the answer is Mercedes Moné, because the answer would have been Willow Nightingale. Now, I had picked early on, before this tournament happened, I had picked someone else. I thought that Alex Windsor was going to win the whole thing, so that they would have a UK challenger, and she did not. She lost to Mercedes, and I guess she would have lost to Willow. But Willow versus Tekla, to me, makes more sense than Sari versus Tekla. But also, if Maya World wins, that's fucking cool. That's incredibly strange. I would applaud AEW for thinking outside the bun on that one. I don't think they'll do it. I think Mercedes babyface turn against Tekla just fucking makes sense. Heel versus heel if they want to do it, but they could have her just like win and have a breakdown, emotional breakdown, and thank everybody and promise, and just turn her fucking face. Have her win, hug Maya World, have Athena try to interfere on Mercedes' behalf, and Mercedes is mad about it and doesn't want it. They could turn her babyface, no problem. Does Mercedes Moné need the world title? No. Does the women's division need Mercedes Moné to hold that belt? Yeah, I think it fucking does, man. If Toni Storm isn't coming back for the rest of the year and Willow is out indefinitely from injury, yeah, I think you fucking put that belt on Mercedes Moné at All In. I think you do that. And you get Mercedes doing fucking press with that belt. I think that's the no-brainer. I'd be psyched for Maya World. I don't think it's happening for Maya World. In the men's Owen Hart finals, where the winner basically faces the AEW men's champion in probably main events at All In, you have Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland, and Will Ospreay is winning. Swerve Strickland is not main eventing against a champion at All In. Will Ospreay is going to main event and win the world title at All In. He should. He should beat Swerve here, and then I would like Swerve to take a little bit of a time off. Little refresh on the character. Little break just to see what's going on out there. Will they do that? Probably not. Him having a break. Will they have Will win? I think I am right. Nothing feels more sure than that victory. It just... C119. It just feels like what is coming. Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. Now, some people would say this is Zack Sabre Jr.'s show because Kenny is such a giving performer and such a giving wrestler that he would, of course, want to put over Zack Sabre Jr. And I do believe that Kenny would want to put over Zack Sabre Jr. But also, I think Kenny Omega is going to main event the Canada pay-per-view next month. And the way to get him to the main event of that pay-per-view, trying to win the world title, which I don't think he will, but to win that world title, You have him beat Zack Sabre Jr. and say, hey, MJF, I just fucking beat Zack Sabre Jr. I'm coming for you in Canada. I have proven myself that I should get a title shot. Tony Khan has booked me in a title shot. I will fucking see you there, my friend. I wouldn't say friend. And you might think to yourself, well, Pat, if you think, I'm sorry, I have the wrong numbers here. Look at the wrong thing. These are the wrong ones. I was looking down the wrong things. I'll need those pieces later. You might think to yourself, well, Pat, okay, so you think that Mark Briscoe isn't going to face MJF, so that Team Briscoe is not winning the cage match, where the winning team, if the Team Briscoe wins, Mark Briscoe gets a title shot. If MJF wins, Mark Briscoe does not get a title shot. No, Briscoe's still going to win. He's just not going to wait till the next pay-per-view for his title shot. He's going to have a Dynamite title shot. He's going to have a match on Dynamite, and he will lose that match to MJF. And MJF it will be one of MJF's title defenses. He might even get another one in on the road to, he might do another challenge before we get to him versus Kenny. I don't know. But no, he's going to get, because he's going to get at least one title match on TV. And then he's going to beat Kenny. I'm pretty sure he's going to beat Kenny later, but yeah. And that's the show. I am looking forward to it. There could still be an added pre-show match because there's only 2. I don't know who would be on it. I mean, okay, I can tell you people who are not on the pay-per-view that I would like to see on the pay-per-view. Eddie Kingston. I would just like to see Eddie Kingston on the pre-show. So, Speedball Mike Bailey. Mark Davis. Ricochet. Who else? Who else has been holding it down that I would like to see? And in the men's division, I think those are like the people that I would say definitely I would like to see show up in there. Let's say Juice Robinson. Like there are people I would like to see. So it would be neat. Speedball not being on this pay-per-view bums me out. Speedball should have Darby Allin's spot on Team Briscoe. I think Mark Davis was one of the many people they're having visa issues with right now. Lashbrook, that could be true. He was on TV not too long ago, though. So he might have had to immediately go home, which is why they decided not to book him. Mortos is fucking back. Put Mortos on the pay-per-view. But again, yeah, I mean, that would make sense why it's Jake Doyle and not Mark Davis, because Mark Davis makes sense to be on Team MJF. It makes more sense that Jack Doyle does. Although that somebody does need to fucking take the pin, so I think that's going to be Jack Doyle. Or Kevin Knight, maybe. So yeah, I guess that makes sense, Lashbrook. If he's having issues with his visa, I could see that totally being a thing that he is dealing with. But yeah, there are some people that I'm like, fucking get these folks on the card. Why are they not on the card? Speedball is on Collision tonight, which I did not see live because I don't watch the first hour before the stream. But he is on Collision. It was taped on Wednesday. Teaming with Mystico, which is, if you're not going to be in a pay-per-view, being in a tag match with Mystico is pretty fucking cool. Also, the Outrunners should stop being on Ring of Honor, and they should be on AEW television, and they should be in the pre-show. Put the fucking Outrunners on there. Damn it. Anyway. Now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you about ways that you can support the channel and what I do here. Everything I am about to talk to you is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. If you would like to, that would be great. If you don't want to, don't worry about it. It's okay. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link with your Twitch. You get a token. You can use that token on anybody. I'd love it if you used it on me. But again, you don't have to. But again, if you want to, you could. Yeah, you don't see ads during the stream. You get cool emotes. It's pretty nice. You support me directly. If you want to join my Patreon, that's at patreon.com/PatBear. I got a Patreon over there. I just put up my Q&A video for the month of June. I do a Q&A video every month at the end of the month where I answer Patreon members' questions. I got 3 this month. It's the most I've had in a while. I should also say sometimes I get a question that I just answered like a month ago, and I just give that person an answer in their email. Yeah, check out the Patreon at the $1, $3, $5, or $10 tier. My $10 patrons will be able to vote tomorrow on what I work on when I'm done with this Gelgoog, which I will probably finish up by the end of Monday's stream. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on the YouTube, you can subscribe for free, of course. Please do. There's also a membership, and for just $2 a month, you'll get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So the video that I put up this past Wednesday, you would have seen a day before. And you'd be like, I know what ended Mecha Month on Kuma Baer. If you just, monthly, it's not your bag, but you want to support me, you can always throw something in the tip jar. I've got a Ko-Fi and a PayPal, and you can make a direct donation to one of those. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So watching my videos helps me out through Patreon and through Twitch. All goes into a fund, and from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits. I've got a backlog of some wild shit. I got some cool Lego sets. I've got a Chinese company that I've SNAA. I've never bought a kit from. The box for this kit looks so goddamn good, and it's got sights. I'm like, woo, I'm interested in that. I've got a bunch of stuff. I've got the other Gelgoog, that's Bokata's Gelgoog. I've got a few things to build that I'm excited about. But right now, I'm working on this kit, which was bought by Harold. Thank you, Harold. Bought off my Amazon wish list. If you would like to buy something from my Amazon wish list and have me build it on stream, you could do so. It would jump the queue. It'd become the next thing that I work on. Because that's the least I could do. I've got model kits and Lego sets. I have inexpensive kits. I have expensive kits. Kits that never seem to go on sale. Kits that are on sale right now. Big and small and weird and Lego and all kinds of things and things. If you see something on that list you'd like to see me put together, consider picking it up. It's a wide variety of things and things. Let me just look at one of the cheapest things. One of the cheapest kits right now is there is a Animal Crossing Lego set, which would be very quick and easy for me to put together. Julian's birthday party. I like having some cheap options, but I got some inexpensive Lego and some inexpensive model kits. Mega Charizard X, the blue Charizard model kit. That's a mega kit. That's on there. That's pretty inexpensive. One of the only entry grade kits I've never built, the entry grade Blue Strike Exceed Galaxy, which is from Gundam Build Metaverse, which is just, man, that's so many words. I said a bunch of fucking words that like word salad right there. You could buy a kit for me to build that is just full of word salad if you wanted to. My alternative to Amazon is I have a wish list on Throne. It is nice to have an alternative to Amazon. It's limited, but I do have some stuff on there that you could buy for me to build if you want to. And the most convoluted and complicated way to support me financially is to go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can use that gift card code to buy something or to send to me. You get in your email, you can send me a whisper here on Twitch or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. If that's your vibe, you could do that. Hey, Harold, welcome. I'm almost done with my pause for the cause, my ad reads, and then we'll get back to working on the kit that you bought for me to build. We'll get into that in a bit. Let's see. If you want to support me financially, but you don't want to spend any money, I have a Discord. I would love to see people join the Discord. It's waiting for you. Come hang out on the Discord. My most recent episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club was recorded 1 week ago today, and it is my look at all of the shows that are currently wrapping up, some of which have wrapped up from the spring anime season, and looking ahead to all of the good stuff that is about to debut in the summer anime season. So you can watch a 2-hour video, have it on the background, just, put it on while you're doing stuff. And once I look up and go, ooh, that sounds neat, or, oh, Pat really thought that anime stunk, huh? Okay. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. The month of June, I talked about four mecha series, because it's my birthday month, and I want to talk about my favorite subgenre, mecha anime. And I talked about Gundam 00, a modern Gundam series that I feel like doesn't get enough love. It has very cool goddamn designs. It has cool pilots. The faction is called Celestial Being, which is a great name. It's really well animated, a gorgeous widescreen show. But yeah, I don't think it takes some of the stink off of Gundam Seed Destiny, in my opinion. But I think it's overlooked. I don't think it gets the love it deserves. The Trans Am system is just fun to say and stupid that's what's named. Gundam 00. You give it a try. That's my hard sell. Give it a try. I don't know. All right. I have some anime to talk about, and then we'll talk about what's going on with me and what's going on with y'all and stuff like that. Before we get to that, I need to drink some water. We got to go to the overhead camera, and then I got to keep working on this cool model kit. And we'll do all of that right now. All right. So, we'll talk about episode 12 of 13 of Marriagetoxin, a show I thought was ending this week. I didn't know it had 13 episodes, so it'll be continuing next week. And then I'm going to talk about the first couple episodes of Love Through a Prism, which is on Netflix, which I don't think I'm going to keep watching, but I have enjoyed what I watched. I just don't think I'm going to keep going. I thought it was interesting, but I'm not, sold on it. Anyway, Dirty says, did you talk about Knights and Magic, the mix of mecha and isekai? Dirty, I have not talked about Knight 'S and Magic on a Kuma Baer. That might make it to my, because I do isekai every year, or a month of isekai. That could end up on the isekai month. I don't know. I mean, but I have not talked about that, no. I think the mech designs in that are fine. I think it's a better isekai than it is a mech series, but also there are only so many isekai that involve mech. Or mecha. So it is nice to talk about those when I can. Let's see. August is chillest of chill. When is isekai? Isekai is in September. So yeah. Maybe I'll talk about that in isekai. Whoops, sorry. Maybe I will. I don't know. Because I do maybe think it's a better isekai than it is a mecha series. The knockoff Death Site didn't do it for you. It really didn't. I don't know. Look, there's what if we just put more arms and legs on this thing? That does usually work for me. I don't know. I like that kid. I think that kid is just like fucking good dork. Is a good dorky dork. So I do like the kid. That's right. July, I'll tell you, July is favorite shows of the spring season because I do that seasonally. It just worked out. There's 5 Wednesdays in July, so I have to do 5 recommendations. And then August is Chillest of Chill. And I remembered a show that I haven't covered in Chillest of Chill yet. I'm very excited to talk about that. That's because I do slice of lives. But here's the thing. Not all slice of life are chill. A lot of them are, but not all of them. Some slice of life are dramas or have dramatic scenes or moments or catharsis. Like Flower and Clover is a beautiful slice of life. That shit's not chill. That is not a chill anime. There's a lot of heartbreak in that. I love Flower and Clover. Goddamn. I haven't thought of that show in a hot minute. But that is maybe even, you could even say that's more of a romance slice of life than it is just a regular slice of life. I would hear that argument. But sometimes shows are, it writes down anime names and notes. Yeah. There are so many shows I want to watch and not enough time. I hear you. I mean, that's my thing about Kuma Baer, which is a video series that I fucking love that I get to make. I'm so happy about it. Even though I recorded I recorded one yesterday, which I won't say which one, what the show is, but it was a show that I'm recommending from the spring season. And I did like 20 takes of that and gave up on it. And almost said, like, what if I just fucking don't take a month off this? I'm not taking a month off. But I stopped recording it and came back and did it today. And it still took me 10 takes. A Honey and Clover. That's the name of it, right? Honey and Clover. That's the name of that. Yes, Honey and Clover is it's basically like an art school slice of life that is a kind of a drama, and it is from 2005. I'm looking it up because I couldn't see what it was there. It's great. No problem. So I recorded the video that took 20 takes yesterday, and I gave up. And again, it's just a 60-second, less than 60 seconds. Like, it shouldn't be too hard, but I kept fucking it up over and over again and getting frustrated. And finally, I was just like, I'm going to come back tomorrow. And so today, I recorded, it took me 10 takes. On the 10th take, I was like, I'm happy with this. And then I set up the next one, which was Witch Hat Atelier. Weirdly, Witch Hat is one of my favorite shows from this season. And that video was first take. Just like, here's what I like about it. Here's my thoughts on Coco. I didn't put in the part where I think that because I have to word it right, and in 1 minute I can't word it properly. My thoughts that Coco is one of the most this is all your fucking fault main characters I've seen in a long time. I didn't include that part, but I did talk her up. That's going to be in not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. That video, one take, exactly what I wanted to say. Got it out, happy with how it worked out. The other one, oh boy, could not get the words to come out properly. But I still love doing Kuma Baer because sometimes Kuma Baer does two things for an audience that I love. One, it exposes people to anime they haven't heard of. And they'll go, oh shit, that does sound cool as hell. I've got to check out City. That show sounds neat. I'll check that out. And two, sometimes you just need someone else to say out loud that the anime that you like is good. You just need someone else to agree with you. Just somebody that can say, you know what anime fucking rules? Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. Welcome to Demon School Irmakun fucking whips ass. It is a comedy that has like 2 core seasons, like 22, at least 22 to 26 episodes per season. It is a action comedy that has run multiple seasons. It is just like so fun. It's such a good goddamn time. You kidding me? It is and you know, and maybe, you know, you're the person in your friend group, you've tried to get people to watch the thing that you've recommended, and then you just get to hear someone be like, and an example, when I said the name of the anime New Game, there at a live version, the first live version of Pat Bear's Anime Club, there was a girl in the back that screamed. She was so thrilled that someone else loved her favorite fucking anime. And it was just like, oh, shit, yeah, all right. And then, you know, and it was a thing where I was just like, and immediately I was just like, yeah, right? I immediately, I couldn't even see her because it was, hey, that was a good crowd at that show. But I immediately was just like, right? Because it's like, yeah, like sometimes you just want to hear someone say, like, acknowledge the thing that you've been holding in. But also, like, when I did that, both times that I did Pat Bear's Anime Club live, people were taking photos of the projection screen. They were taking photos of the names of the anime that, like, me and my guests were recommending. And I was just like, hell yeah. You're going to look at photos later and go like, wait, what was that show? Oh, yeah, that one. Okay. It's like, hell yeah. It was my pleasure. It's one of those funny things where, like, Improvised Postmortem is the show that I would do in a heartbeat if I got to go to a convention again. But like, Pat Bear's Anime Club, if I had the right guests with me, because, like, what I need is, I need someone in their 20s to be on that panel. It cannot be people in their 30s and 40s. I need someone on the younger side of the anime watching. And I do have friends that do conventions these days that are in their 20s. Acquaintances, good acquaintances, we'll say. But I would need to tap into that, because I'm like, I cannot be the guy. I cannot have a panel of 40-year-olds telling what will probably be people in their 20s who are at, like, Penny Arcade Expo and are like, oh, this panel says anime in the title. Because that's what happened. I have a little, you know, I at the time, I don't know now. It's been years now. But I have a little cachet. I had a little bit of, like, people would come to see me do things. You know, I had Loading Ready Run people on that first one, and people want to see them, and they don't always do a lot of panels outside of their own panels, so it was like an easy way to go see people. But there was a lot of people at that show that just came to a panel that said anime in the title. They saw Anime Club yelling about the shows we love, and they were like, oh, fuck, we're going to that. The LLR crowd is great, but they do seem very busy. Yeah. So, like, the lure folks, like, definitely drew in people, because there were people that are like, oh, like, I did talk to somebody, because also, hey, I don't know if you know this, but when you get a crowd really excited about the thing that they're already excited about, they want to talk to you after this panel. Like, the most people have ever wanted to talk to me after a panel was the first Pat Bear's Anime Club, and the second one as well. But they were so excited to talk to me, and one guy just came. He said, every time I go try to talk to the lure folks, it's hard because there's a line, and I can't buy anything, but I still want to go talk to them. So I try to talk to them after a panel, and I was like, well, there's a couple right here. Would you like to say hi to them? It's like, you don't know me, and we're talking just fine, but I can help that if you want. And he was like, oh yeah, that would be great. I really like the panel. And I was like, yeah, hell yeah. Because I'm also thinking, like, this is taking so much energy from this person to do this. And so like I gotta help out if I can. But there were so many people that at that panel that were just like, I'm so excited to talk about anime with someone. And they were like, I dragged my friend to this panel and they left immediately after, but they liked it. And I'm like, okay, you didn't have to say that part. You could have just said you loved it. But I do need to do that panel again because it was really fun. But I need to dig in with some younger folks. Yeah, I got to get in on that. God, that was fun. All right. I'm gonna fucking, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on covering Love Through a Prism. I will talk about Love Through a Prism on Monday because I you know what I'll do? I'll watch a couple more episodes because I was on the fence about watching more. But episode 4 seemed like it might be kind of cool, so I'll watch that. Because I believe there's a sculptor in that episode. So I will watch a little bit more of Love Through Prism, and I'll talk more about that on Monday. But let me talk about episode 12 of Marriagetoxin, because again, we're going to finish Marriagetoxin up on Thursday, because there's 13 episodes. I didn't know there would be 13, so we'll get into that. But episode 12. So episode 11's cliffhanger was that Hikaru, our main character, he unlocked like this special bloodline power that he didn't have access to before, which is basically like poison blood. So if you haven't been watching Marriagetoxin, the premise is that there's assassin clans throughout Japan. And they have masteries and like families. There's like the Poison Clan. Our main character is the Poison Clan. There's the Beast Tamer Clan, and it's a big clan with little subcategories of different animal companions and stuff. There was the woman who can breathe underwater because she is like regular air was like toxic for her. Like there's a bunch of different masters. Some big, some small, some very cool, some like fine. But our main character is in the Poison Clan, and he is going to be the next head of the Poison Clan. So that it's important that he has a child. And he's like, I've never really been in love. I'm not interested in bringing someone into this world. I'm okay. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. And finally, his grandmother is like, you know what? We give up. Your sister has agreed to get married and have a child, so now you don't have to. And Hikaru's like, fuck. Because his sister is gay. So if he doesn't get married and eventually have a child, his sister will be in a loveless relationship and be forced to have a child. And he's not going to let that fucking happen. So basically, most of the series is him going on dates, trying to meet a special someone that he eventually will marry. We have a character, May, who he saves, who is a con artist, and he saves his life. And May basically, part of being a con artist is that May dresses a woman. It is cross-dressing. He doesn't necessarily live as a woman, but also pronouns get used kind of all. So they don't dwell on it. It's not a bad portrayal, but they don't dwell on it. Anyway, May is trying to play matchmaker. Meanwhile, there's also problems. Lots of problems within clans. Part of Hikaru's the best foot forward for Hikaru is the fact that he is pretty fucking cool. So when he's fighting, so they do put him in positions where he can like save the day. Anyway, the dating part has kind of taken a back seat because there's this like whole fucking plot happening here where the head of the Beast Clan has been cross DNA sampling with other masters and killing masters, and has a bunch of people that should be supporting him under his wing who are like really just be mistreated. And we're building up to the big climactic fight scene. Our guy Hikaru seemed like he was defeated because the guy he's been fighting, Toshiro, has like used science to make himself stronger and more fucked up. Anyway, our guy Hikaru unlocks his final thing, poison blood, which is anything he touches will be poisoned and die. But he still doesn't have bloodlust. He's still not looking to massacre. So the villain Hikaru thinks that he's going to be stronger. He turns into like a homunculus, a bunch of monsters like together, or like a chimera. It's kind of cool looking and fucked up, but Hikaru is just hot. He can control his bloodlust because he just immediately like dissolves all of the animal parts on Hikaru, or not Hikaru, on Toshiro, and just kind of he has his blood is so toxic that like Toshiro has to sever his arms to take him apart, and then the poison just ravages through him. Let's see. And then Toshiro is like, if I'm going down, I am killing all of your friends because there are people that he cares about there. And so he's like, I'm going to kill these folks. But then he stops moving because the girl that was part of the Beast Clan, one of the Beast Clan girls, shows up. And she has convinced all of the various prisoners who their animal companions all died. So they're just like traumatized. But she apparently off camera has convinced them to rally and to fight back. And by them rallying, all of the control Toshiro had on their animals, and the DNA, like he loses control. It doesn't fucking make any goddamn sense. You just kind of go with it. You're like, great. Okay, sure. Hikaru takes the blood out, and then everyone has the hold that he had over those people. He loses completely. And then a vampire bat lands on Toshiro, and we get a short flashback that the bat was Toshiro's animal, because that was the Beast Clan head saying that Toshiro was unfit to be the next head of the family. And so we get, it's one of those things where it's like, this explains why the villain was a bad guy and we should feel bad that he went down this path. No, it's not that. It's just kind of like all of this started because he got rejected, probably for the right reasons, because he certainly didn't respond well to rejection. In this case, dude really went overboard. But then he thinks he's dying, but he doesn't die. Radiant Burst, which was Hikaru's ability. Hikaru's is like, I didn't want to kill you, so it didn't kill you. So Hikaru has complete control over this new ability of his, and he can use it in a way that doesn't instantly kill people, which is why that he turned down the ability to have that ability, and why he repressed it for all these years, is because he didn't want to have an ability that just instantly killed people with no rhyme or reason. But now, apparently, if he doesn't have bloodlust in his heart, he can just control it, which is probably for the fucking best, considering that he is the main character and the hero of the story. It's probably good that he doesn't just indiscriminately kill people. Byako and Toshiro try to escape, but turns out a big old wolf, like, when I say a giant wolf, this wolf is fucking huge. This is like a Fenrir size wolf shows up and catches them. That is because Toshiro's sister Tanako is the new head of the actual real head of the Beast Clan, and she captures those two, which is good. And that is how the episode ends. And then we'll get some kind of conclusion. I don't know if we're going to get more of this anime in the future, but we do have one more episode 13, coming up next week, which I look forward to because I like this show quite a bit. Marriagetoxin is high action. The quiet moments are very quiet and fun. I do wish there was a little more of Toshiro trying to date people and connect, and maybe a little less action. But the action is really good, and it's got good energy and good heart to it. So I can't complain too much about it, because it's well done. But I do wish there was maybe a little bit more of the interaction and more May. May really didn't get to do much in these last couple episodes. And they are an important element of the show. I would like to see more of them. All right, we have some time left on the stream to talk about what y'all have been up to. Wait, that's the same show? I blinked and thought you moved on to describing something else. No. So, yeah, Ash, Marriagetoxin is the show about the assassin who also is trying to find a wife, a future wife, and then someone to have children. It's just that because we got towards the end of the season, the last episode 12 was pretty much all action, crazy action, which is also what the series has throughout, and less of the like fun thing of like a cool not by the books, but like pretty like decent, maybe even boring guy trying to like meet people and have a conversation. And he helps another couple like get married, and he goes to their wedding, and then that gets interrupted, and he fights a guy to protect them, and you know, there's some good stuff there. Fights some assassins and has some good interactions with people. Yeah, it's a good time. I do like that one. I do like Marriagetoxin. I think that's a fun series. But yeah, I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? I always love hearing from you about those things and things. So if you want to put that in the chat there, you playing any video games, you watching any movies, you beating the heat, you staying indoors, you go into movie theaters so you can have like the good air conditioning. As I said, probably early on there. Oh, hell yeah. Widow's Bay rules. This stream, this channel, this guy is a big supporter of Katie Dippold. Katie Dippold, who created the show, who also wrote the script for the Lady Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters movie that had women as the character, that Ghostbusters. Wrote the movie, the comedy movie Heat, the Sandra Bullock buddy cop movie Heat. Has written a bunch of stuff. Wrote for Parks and Rec. Is just a phenomenal writer. Is the woman that wore the Babadook costume to a Halloween party where no one else was dressed up, and it was more of a drinking wine party. That meme, that's Katie Dippold. We love Katie. And I'm so glad she had a fun series that is very much her voice. But yeah, I have now watched all of Widow's Bay, and it is really solid. And very happy for her. I mentioned at the top of the stream, I've been playing a lot of Mecha Chameleon. My multiplayer crew, we were having a couple of us were having unbelievably bad runs in Marathon, and so we're taking a Marathon break. And then the multiplayer crew, I wasn't there for this, but apparently the multiplayer crew had like the worst night ever. I was streaming while they were doing this. They were playing Helldivers 2, because we still like to go back to Helldivers. But they went to Helldivers 2 and had a really bad time. And so one of my friends was just like, fuck it. Can we all, it's like $6. I'll buy it for you if people don't want to buy it. Can we fucking play Mecha Chameleon? I just want to play a dumb game. And it's really fun, y'all. I'm having a great time with it. If you haven't seen Mecha Chameleon, it's a hit with streamers at the moment. It is a hiding game. There is somebody who is the hunter, and they are chasing. There are different modes, but we'll go for this mode. They can't see what you did, but you are in a map. But there are a bunch of different maps, and you are a little guy. You are a little meeple, and you need to hide. And you can blend in with the background a bit, and then also you can paint yourself. And you can even copy the color. Like if there's a big blue ball and you're like behind the blue ball, you can make yourself blue, so you can kind of hide there. You can crouch down, you can different poses and stuff. And there's like a back rooms thing and like an indoor. I mentioned my favorite, I think, is the indoor like animal petting zoo kind of thing. The fancy party one is pretty good too. But there are a bunch of little stages, and then the hunter has a gun, and they're trying to figure out who's like hiding. And if you are close to someone who is hiding and you can't find them, you get more points as the hider than you do if you hid somewhere that no one's looking and no one's around. But also, every once in a while, there's like a ping noise to kind of alert the person they're on the right track, the hunter. And there's also a mode where once you die, you become a hunter as well. And that is really good for big groups. If you have a big group of people, I think that's really fun. And so we just played that for 5 hours. Lot of fun. I had a really good time with that yesterday. I just laughing my ass off. I kept having to mute my mic because I was trying not to blow up my voice by laughing, and I was just fucking dying. God, it was a good time. Just good, silly time. If you have a multiplayer crew, if you have people that you like to roll with on multiplayer games, I think this is worth picking up. Then also we played a bit more this afternoon. I had a few people, and we just ran around in skiing game, which is still in early access, and still maybe there isn't enough game in skiing game. But this is kind of just a dumb thing to just do stunts as a little animal and then be on a Discord call and goof around with people. Way less game in sledding game than other things, but it's still fun. I still had a good time doing it. But Mecha Chameleon, if you have a crew, that's a good time. Let's see. Dirty spent the day building a desk and most of your stream redoing my cable management. Hell yeah, you gotta. Tested out a cheap portable projector and found out I can get slightly weirded out when I fall from heights in Power Wash 2 when it's on my ceiling and I'm laying on my back. Yeah, Dirty. That sounds like that could really fuck you up. Yeah. We have one marking sticker to apply, folks. The only sticker on this, and we do need to apply that onto the shoulder here. I should wait to do this on Monday, but we'll do it now. We'll just be very careful. It is a marking sticker, so there's a little more. I can maybe fix my mistake. So yeah, Dirty, that maybe sounds like not the way to play that game. I am going to make this image bigger so I can see what it looks like here. Okay. Yeah, there's words here and about there. See, we'll just do that. I've committed. That's where it is. Okay. I'm now going to make this smaller. Ash says, I just remembered I saw a new Supergirl movie yesterday. The fact that I fully forgot about it until now should tell you about how memorable it is. Yeah, I mean, I've seen the reviews. I wasn't going to see it in theaters anyway, but yeah, okay. Lashbrook says, my expectations are through the floor, but I still want to watch Supergirl. Yeah, eventually I'll see it. But I don't go to the movie theaters these days, so I'm not dying to get out there. All right. Oh, we're gonna work on the waist next. Nice. I like that. I like when you go from the chest and the arms to the waist instead of just jumping right down to the feet. Let's see. Supergirl had some good actors and fun roles in scenes that are vaguely stitched together in a general shape that might look coherent if you squint. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that definitely did sound like there was at least a few passes that were by committee that maybe didn't do that movie a particular service. Eventually, I'll see it. Let's see. Last week we watched Remap in person streams. That's right, it's their Remap anniversary, so they're at the compound. Which means I also watched a lot of golf games and got to watch a friendship dissolve in real time. That'll happen. I've been playing a fair bit of Guild Wars 2. Feel like I need to hunt down the opening cinematics that I watched an age ago. Sometimes you just do need to get refreshed about like, what the fuck is what am I even doing here? If it's a game you haven't, played in a long time. Lord Crasher says, I went and saw The Mandalorian and Grogu, which was a fun Star Wars action movie with the buff son of Jabba the Hutt, who is an arena fighter. I also got my Superstation 1 in on Thursday and have it set up. Oh, Superstation 1 in on Thursday, set up pretty well now after fucking up some of the things early on. So I've been dipping into a bunch of random retro games. Nice. Yeah, I will eventually see Mandalorian and Grogu, which by many reports of people that I read, just sounded like they just stitched a couple episodes of the Mandalorian and Grogu together. But I was like, yeah, okay. I don't know. I watched the Clone Wars animated movie before the cartoon, the CG Clone Wars movie, which had another another Hutt. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll watch a movie with a Hutt in it. I'm not too fancy. Harold says, I picked up a bunch of retro games, mostly Atari 2600. I also bought several things from Prime Day, including a transmitter-receiver combo so I can play my PC games on my living room TV way cheaper than the Steam machine. Certainly. The Steam machine is we talked about this on Thursday. The Steam machine, it's an expensive piece of equipment. Get used to it. That is what we're going to be saying about consoles. Now, obviously, Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo manufacture things at a much, like, they get different rates and certainly could get better rates than Valve is going to get, because Valve is not a hardware manufacturer by trade. They are now because of that, but that's not their main thing. But also, that's just the way it is. Like, because people were like, well, here's the parts that are in it. You're not, you could save a little bit of money if you took the parts that were in it and built it yourself. But it's not going to be, the form factor is not going to work. Also, a thing the Steam machine has that PCs don't have is, if you plug your Steam machine into a TV and you turn the TV on, the Steam machine will turn on. It has that HDMI recognition thing. So if you use your TV for the things and you turn the TV to that HDMI port on your TV, then your Steam machine will wake up and you can just use it. And nobody's been able to figure out how to do that with their own kind of computers. I am not telling you should buy a Steam machine if you want a living room PC experience. I am just saying, like, that I am fucking not afraid and I'm not trying to, I am always ready to say, hey, Valve, stop doing this fucking dumb shit. It's just in this case, I don't think Valve is like screwing people over or trying to like, make people, they're not like gouging folks. It's just, there are reasons why. And there are reasons to get that if you were looking for that experience. But like, if you have a computer and you can use Moonlight to get it onto a TV, then yeah, you probably fucking want to do that. Yeah. Mandalorian seems okay, but watching Andor before it kind of maybe not hit because Andor was too fucking good. Yep, yeah. Yeah, you kind of had to watch Mandalorian first. I watched Gamer Nexus interview some Valve employees about it, and what Valve said is that the RAM manufacturers basically quoted a new price at them each month, and if Valve said no, the RAM manufacturers said they'd never work with them again. Yeah. We just got a shout out from Vectroid, who is streaming now, I assume. Thank you, Vectroid, for the shout out. We're probably going to raid Rah because we'll be wrapping up soon, and I feel like that's a good person to raid. I assume I just came up in conversation, and so Rah gave me a shout out, which is very kind of her. I have a magical device that can put my computer on my TV. It's called an HDMI cable. Yes, sure. If your TV is in proximity to your computer, and you can just have an out, one of your outs from your computer is an HDMI cable, and you can plug it in your TV. Great. If you are someone that has you have a TV and your good TV is in the living room, it is a shared space, and you wanted to have a media server, or you want to have you want to sometimes play PC games. You're in a roommate situation. You want to have a computer that everyone can dump their games onto. It is fucking nice to just have a dedicated machine that has time, effort, and is quiet as fuck, because it is a thing. A couple years ago, that thing would have been a no-brainer. Now it is not. It is certainly not a no-brainer. It is a many-brainer. You know, but yeah, I don't have a good TV, so I play video games on my computer. Someday I'm going to get a better monitor than the monitors I have. That's what I want. I would like a better monitor than I would like to upgrade one of my monitors at least to be a better monitor. Really get a good experience out of that. Push my graphics card a little bit on that for watching things. I'd like that. That is in the future. What's in the present is that we made good progress on this Gelgoog, Sugai's Gelgoog from the good old G-Quux. Will you then need a better GPU to take advantage of the new monitor? So, Gunpla deals. I actually have a decent GPU. Right now, I'm just doing 1080 out of it, and it can definitely do more. So I have a good enough GPU for that. But yeah, I don't have a good TV, but my monitors are 1080p. I would like to do 1440. And my 5060 could do that. So I would like to have a good monitor for gaming. And also have a good monitor for video stuff. Yeah, that's all I need. I don't need 4K. 1440 is kind of all I really want for gaming. And watching video stuff. All right, so I am going to wrap things up. We are reaching the end of our broadcast today. We are going to go on a raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We always end with a raid. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff. And I feel like I'm not obligated. I just want to. We're going to raid Rah because the good friend Rah did give me a raid, which is very kind. Or not a raid, but a shout out, which is very kind. So Vectroid is playing Retro Rewind, and also doing a bunch of other stuff. So we're going to go hang out with Rah, who is good people. I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. I will see you on the next one. We're going to have a good time with our VTuber friend, Rah, dear friend. But also, come back on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, as I continue working on this kit. If you'd like to, if you want to. I'm going to finish it up. It's a 2-stream build. Thank you all so much. Thank you for the follow. I'll see you on Monday. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.